Instructors are often confused and often amazed at how the average column works in Blackboard. To show you how this works, I'm going to show you a course that has a total possible points of 200. These 200 points come from a 50-point assignment, a 50-point discussion, and a 100-point exam. Let's add an average column. Mouse over the Create Calculated Column, click Average Column. We're going to call this Average Calculated. And it's going to display as a percentage, and I'll click Submit. You can see that the average is 100%, which is what you would expect because the student has earned all of the 200 points. Now let's change the student's score on Exam 1 to half of the points. The average is now 83.33%, but let's look more closely at this. This student has earned 150 of the 200 points. So most instructors would think that 150 divided by 200 is 75%. Let's look more closely at what's happening. What Blackboard does is when you set up a calculated column on an average column, it averages all of the columns in the grade book equally. So a column that is worth 50 points becomes equal in weight to a column that's worth 100 points. And this is why this student has an inflated average. There are a couple ways that we can go about looking at what the student's true average is. If you are not concerned with the student seeing the average, you can go to your total column that's already in existence and you can click Edit Column Information. And under the option where it says Secondary Display, you can add a percentage and click Submit. Now we see the 75%, which is what most people would have expected. That would be 150 points out of 200 points possible. The problem with the secondary display is the student doesn't see this. So if you want the student to see the secondary, or the student to see the average, mouse over the Create Calculated Column, click the Total column. And now we're going to create an average based on total. And in this view, we're going to change the primary display to percentage. Click Submit. And now the student sees the 75% average. So the key points of this tutorial are that if you want students to see an average that takes the points possible, the points earned, and divides it by the points possible, use the total column rather than the average column. That concludes this tutorial on the average.